I don't see it.
See, look at that, and look at the difference in the lines. Lines here and here. Because this is the same. This is the same thing.
Yeah, well, this is a pull-up of that, right?
How many nights?
This,
And she would also have
This line is supposed to be this line right
I
here.
think,
Yeah, and then the little line is that little line.
right?
This line.
to
is
be
this
in.
line.
And then we have.
I mean, it's true.
Yep.
No, I mean,
And this is the Y that she's talking
I
about.
mean, yeah.
squares.
Number.
I can't figure out how to make this thing go the direction I want it to. There we go. Yeah, because then that's the line, that's that,
Yep.
and that's that right there.
So that's what she's looking at in the picture. So then slide it down so we can see that one. Yeah, let's clear this.
Right. Right. See, we got a much sharper angle and perfectly parallel lines.
Slide it up.
Oh yeah. Hey, good call.
I think that's what you do in clothes.
You're correct, dear. I'm trying to get rid of these red lines on there.
Those aren't going anywhere.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I'll see. He was going up to Georgia to do
That's always good. I don't know.
He's not versus the recipients. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I'll find out.
We can get Mr. Davis back in, we can get started. You think what?
That, you know, people can touch things and not leave fingerprints, right?
Right.
Are you
Okay.
running low on witnesses?
So,
Now, we were one more today. One more that we were not sure if we could call him or not.
So-
He had kind of a family matter, so we're trying to avoid calling him. It's Lori Edwards, one of the sheriff's office guys. But that would be the only other person that we would call. We don't have him today, but after that, we basically would rest if we are going to call him. But I won't know for sure until tonight.
And it'll, yeah, well, tomorrow morning we're not here, so it'll be 1:30.
Right, and I can.
just because of,
I can email tomorrow morning to say if we are calling him or not. If you want to know ahead of time.
Well, mainly it's Mr. Davis, probably go to Mr.
there
Davis'
is, okay.
and then Mr. Clark's.
Right. And that would be the only other possible witness we'll call in today.
Okay.
I don't know.
But you have one more witness for this evening.
I have one second.
Okay. Julie, if you're not going to take breaks, I'm going to put you in charge of Mr. Davis when we take these breaks. Your job is to get him back in here. I'm not sure he's in there. I think he may just be out stretching his legs, talking. Okay, it looks like we're almost ready. You need a few more minutes, Aisha? I know you're trying to get back together. Okay. Mr. Davis, you ready? We bring our jury back in? Yes, sir. Mr. Malik, you ready? Yes. Mr. Clark, ready for the jury to come back in? All right, let's go ahead and bring our jury in, please. Please be seated. Call your next witness, Mr. Malik.
Today we call Carol Perry.
Ma'am, if you come up here, please. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you to lean into that microphone. The chair does not move. It's bolted to the ground, so you need to either sit towards the front of it or scoot forward and lean in, one way or the other.
Yeah.
If you would, introduce yourself to the jury, spell your first name and your last name, but you might want to move that microphone down a little bit. You do want to get close to it. There you go.
My name is Carol Perry, C-A-R-O-L-P-E-R-R-Y.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, where are you employed?
I am employed with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
And what's your position with the Orange County Sheriff's Office?
I am a fingerprint latent examiner.
And how long have you been with the latent print examination department of the Sheriff's Office?
I have been with the latent print examiner as a fingerprint latent examiner for 7 years and 16 as a fingerprint examiner.
And can you tell us a little bit about your education in the area of latent print examination?
As far as receiving my official training, I was first trained by the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and I worked there for 4.5 years, and then proceeded to work with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for 3.5 years as a fingerprint examiner, and then left there and was hired with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
And during your employment with the Sheriff's Office, you had the opportunity to examine a number of fingerprints.
Yes.
Are there specific things you look for when you're examining a fingerprint?
We look for points of characteristics in each pattern.
And are those guidelines that other fingerprint examiners follow?
Yes.
How many fingerprints would you estimate you've had to examine in your employment with the Sheriff's Office?
I would say hundreds.
And have you testified in court before?
Yes, I have.
How many times have you testified in court?
9 times.
And have you been found to be an expert in that area?
Yes, I have.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, specifically in regards to this case, were you asked to examine a number of fingerprints?
Yes.
And do you recall how many fingerprints you were asked to examine?
There were a total of 58 latent prints pertaining to this case.
Okay. And do you recall how many of those prints were actually determined to be of value or of use?
There were a total of 15 of value.
And just can you explain what that means?
That means that they had enough points to be compared to or identified against another suspect.
So in other words, just because there's a print, can you necessarily make a comparison to something else?
That's correct.
It's correct that you wouldn't be able to say whether or not this print matches another print.
Yes, I can definitely say that if the print is of value, yes.
Okay. But if it's determined not to be of value or it doesn't share enough of those characteristics that you mentioned, would you be able to say whether or not that print is a match?
That's correct.
You can or you can't say whether it's a
I can't say that it would be a match.
And also, let me ask you this. If there are not prints found, does that necessarily mean that that item or that piece of evidence hasn't been touched?
That's correct.
It does or it doesn't? What does it mean? I mean, can you necessarily say that it has never been touched?
Can you clarify the question or repeat the question for me again?
I'm trying not to confuse you. Are you always going to necessarily find prints on an item that someone has touched?
No.
And why might you not find prints?
It depends on the surface of the item touched. For example, if a piece of paper or cardboard or unfinished wood is touched, it's harder to get a fingerprint from that particular area. And it also depends on the oils and the fingerprint in your hand at the time also.
Okay, so there are a number of reasons why you might not certainly get a print.
Correct.
Now, in this case, you said that you did determine that some prints were of value. Did you have the opportunity prior to testifying today to roll the fingerprints of an individual?
Yes.
Specifically in regards to Mr. Okafor, did you have the opportunity to roll one of his fingerprints?
Yes.
Channel 2.
Today, the jury saw the evidence that syncs up with what the home invasion victims described. They saw a black handgun with chrome on it that was found on the floor in front of Bessman Okafor's car, and another hidden in the back pocket on the front passenger seat. Okafor and Nolan Bernard are in suits and ties in court, but today the jury saw what they looked like hours after the home invasion, the shaved eyebrow and cornrows the victims described.
Did she hesitate at all before she identified Mr. Bernard?
Not at all. She immediately.
And then after that, she was actually shown a second individual?
Correct.
And who was the second individual she was shown?
That would have been Mr. Bessman Okafor.
And again, did she have any problems identifying Mr. Okafor?
No, she recognized him immediately.
Police found victim Alex Zaldivar's backpack in a closet at the house where the gunmen were caught and found another bag with their stolen laptops. Investigators showed the jury how they also found